Hello guys, and welcome to my tropical update here. We are going to go over information on potential tropical cyclone 2 right here. And this is the latest advisory, the 11 p.m. EST advisory, or 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time. Maximum sustained winds are at 30 miles per hour. Minimum central pressure is 1,009 millibars, so it's down 2 millibars since the last advisory. So it's definitely trying to get its act together at the moment. It is located at 27.7 north, 88.0 west, and the movement is west-southwest, still at 9 miles per hour. Formation potential is 100% down the line. There's no doubt about it that this is going to become Barry. No doubt. Alright, let's take a look at the public advisory here. Got all of your information here, like location and intensity and all that good stuff. Watches and warnings changes with this advisory, none. Summary of watches and warnings in effect. A storm surge watch is in effect for mouth of Pearl River in intercoastal city. The hurricane watch is in effect for mouth of the Mississippi River to Cameron. A tropical storm watch is in effect for mouth of the Mississippi River northward to the mouth of the Pearl River. And then you got all of your information about the storm surge watches and hurricane watches and tropical storm watches. Pretty much telling you that anywhere between 48 hours from now, all of this stuff is going to possibly go down here. Let's look at the hazards real quick. Key messages for this system can be found in the tropical cyclone discussion under AWIPS header, MIATCDAT2, and WMO header, WTNC32, KNHC. Storm surge. The combination of dangerous storm surge and the tide will cause normally dry areas near the coast to be flooded by rising waters moving inland from the shoreline. The water could reach the following heights above ground, somewhere in the indicated areas of if the peak surge occurs at the time of high tide. Mouth of the Pearl River to intercoastal cities, 3 to 6 feet. Surge-related flooding depends on the relative timing of the surge and the tidal cycle, and can vary greatly over short distances. For information specific to your area, please see products issued by your local National Weather Service forecast office. Rainfall. Now this right here, this is going to be the problem mostly. Yeah, there's going to be some winds and whatnot, but the rain is definitely going to be the major factor here. Rainfall. The system is expected to produce total additional rain accumulations of 10 to 15 inches near and inland of the central Gulf Coast through early next week, with isolated maximum rainfall amounts of 20 inches. Rainfall amounts exceeding 6 to 9 inches have already occurred across portions of the New Orleans metropolitan area today, which has resulted in flooding. And this is accurate because between like 7 a.m. and 10 a.m. this morning, New Orleans picked up 6.24 inches of rain in 3 hours, which is ridiculous. And to think if they get another 20 inches on top of that, that's not good. Wind. Hurricane conditions are possible within the hurricane watch area by Friday night, but tropical storm conditions possible by early Friday. Alright, and this is where the next intermediate advisory is at 1 a.m. So that's 2 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is in about 2.5 hours or so. And the next complete advisory is at 4 a.m., which is about 5.5 hours from now. Alright, let's go back to a page here. Let's look at the arrival time of winds. Alright, so right now, this is the potential cyclone number 2. This is probably the tropical depression. That Thursday, this is probably when the tropical storm force winds are probably going to start. So the really tip of Louisiana here is Thursday at 2 p.m. And then you're getting to closer to New Orleans by like 8 p.m. on Thursday. And then Friday it's spreading all across these states, and then it keeps on going north from there. So Friday 8 p.m. is going to be Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. Saturday 8 a.m. is going to be Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Mississippi, Alabama, and Tennessee. And Missouri might get in a little tiny bit of the action too, right over here. There is no wind history. Let's take a look at this. See if we can. There's anything. This is the cone of uncertainty here. So by tomorrow morning, we're definitely going to see a depression, and then as it works its way northwestward, it's going to be a tropical storm, and just barely offshore, you're going to get a hurricane. So if it becomes a hurricane right here, and it goes right here, it has a little bit of time of strengthening. We're probably going to see a high-end Cat 1 to a low-end Category 2 hurricane. A low-end Category 2 is not out of the question. Not yet, anyways. This is a more detailed cone here. And it looks like Houston is out of the cone of the center, but just because the center is not going to go over Houston and say still goes here, yeah, they may be on the dry side of the storm, but they're still going to get pummeled with rain if it comes this way. And plus, it has time to strengthen too, so it can get bigger and stronger. And if it takes this side of the cone, New Orleans is going to get slammed, but it's not going to be as strong. They're going to get tropical storm force winds and a lot of rain. So no matter how you slice this, the system is going to cause a lot of trouble. I mean, it's only July 10th, so man, this is craziness right here. How about warnings and surface winds? Let's take a look. Oh, obviously it's not anything yet, but a potential tropical cyclone yet, so nothing on that yet. Key messages. Let's go over this real quick. Key messages for potential tropical cyclone 2. Advisory 3. A tropical depression is expected to form on Thursday over the northern Gulf of Mexico. Conditions appear favorable for this system to strengthen to a hurricane that will bring storm surge, rainfall, and wind hazards to the central Gulf Coast. 2. A dangerous storm surge is possible in portions of southern and southeastern Louisiana where the storm surge watch is in effect. Additional storm surge watches may be needed on Thursday. Residents in these areas should monitor the progress of this system and listen to any advice given by local officials. 3. A hurricane watch is in effect for much of the Louisiana coast, and additional tropical storm or hurricane watches and warnings could be needed on Thursday. Residents in the area should ensure they have their hurricane plan in place. This is important right here. You have to have your plan in place, because if you wait until the very last minute to get these done, then all bets are pretty much off. Trust me, I've been in a situation where my family has put off these plans, and nothing good comes out of it. I'm telling you, nothing good. 4. The slow movement of this system will result in a long-duration, heavy rainfall threat along the central Gulf Coast and inland through the lower Mississippi Valley through the weekend and potentially into early next week. Flash flooding and river flooding will become increasingly likely, some of which may be significant, especially along the east of the track of the system. This is another big one right here, because all the rain we've had up here in the Midwest, that all drained into the Mississippi, and it's still clogged up. It is still clogged up going southbound. And all this heavy rain is not going to help matters. where we could see almost 20 inches of rain in some areas. Not to mention that, but say we have this storm coming in at a certain direction and we get the onshore flow going into the Mississippi, that's just gonna make it even worse. That's bad news bears for everybody along the Mississippi, pretty much. Alright, let's look at storm surge inundation here. Yeah, let's get. Alright, so the blue areas is greater than 1 foot above ground. And then we got some yellows here, which is greater than 3 feet above ground. We got spotty oranges here, which is greater than 6 feet above ground. I would not be surprised if we see some reds pop up in here before the storm actually makes landfall. Because the storm is really ramping up. We don't know exactly how strong or how weak the system's gonna be. But these are just the rough estimates at this moment of how the storm surge is gonna be like. And this is gonna be a pretty big deal too as time goes along. Let's look at storm surge watches and warnings. Right now, west of Morgan City and up to New Orleans and the mouth of the Pearl River are under storm surge watches. So at this current moment, you gotta watch out for the rising water from here on out. Because I'm sure most of these are going to be turned into warnings here on real short order. Let's look at the potential rainfall amounts here. I think these are underestimated, honestly. I think that New Orleans is probably going to see more than 6 inches of rain. And then this area is going to be more like 15 to 20 inches of rain. Look at how far the rain amounts go up. Even up here, we got a risk of 1 to 2 to 2 to 4 inches of rain, which can lead to some problems if it comes all down at once. We don't want that. Let's take a look at flash flooding potential here. Alright. So, at this current moment, all of the southern Louisiana, well, most of the southern Louisiana is in a moderate risk of flash flooding. This is most likely going to be turned to high before too long. And then we got this portion of Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida in that part. And then you got all this swath in the marginal area of flash flooding. Alright, let's take a look at the surface temperatures in the Atlantic and the Gulf of Mexico before I get out of here. As you can see, in the Gulf of Mexico, look at how warm these temperatures are. We're talking about 29, 30, 31 Celsius even. And that's a lot of warm water for the system to feed off of. And that's going to be the worrying part. If it slows down to the point where it just sucks up all the energy it can, I think it's going to turn into an even more dangerous situation than we're probably thinking. It can strengthen if it slows down enough to even above category 2. It just depends on the high pressure here and the high pressure there. If the system just really just slows down to a crawl. Because if you remember correctly, in 2017 we had Harvey, which was trapped between 2 high pressures as well, and it just stayed stationary in one place for like 5 days, aka Houston, and it dumped like 59-60 inches of rain in the Houston metropolitan area. And God forbid we need to go through that again, because even 2 years later, just about, they're still trying to recover from the storm. And we really don't need that. Alright, let's go back here. And I'm going to wrap this up. The point being here, you guys need to watch out for this system. Have your plan in place and ready to go. If you have to evacuate, evacuate. Don't stay and risk your life because you got valuables in your home. It's not worth it. As they say, objects and things can be replaced, but your life cannot. So if you're told to evacuate, listen please and go. Anyways, I'll have another update for you guys tomorrow. I want to thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and I'll see you on the next one.